Welcome everyone to Beck and Development Weekly
Hey,
Stream, episode 129. We got Shadowpunk with us tonight. What is up, sir? How are you doing?
Oh,
I'm doing
vicious.
great.
Great. I was
I
about
said
to pull
Shadowpunk,
Sean
not the
Connery, but
white.
I know. I was trying to pull my Sean Connery, but it didn't work.
No, I didn't. That didn't go.
Well, welcome to the show, man. Glad you're here.
Yeah, it's great to be here. You guys are cool, man. Like, if nothing else, I just like talking to other creators and
Oh,
getting
yeah.
an idea of like, because just watching you do your work behind before we started, it's just
Right.
cool. It's cool to see people do their own thing and how they do it.
Mhm.
Like
I'm notorious for 1,000 layers and working
Mhm.
with 0.2 line
Yeah.
work. And
is that right?
yeah.
Okay.
If he were to have another screen name, it would be Man of a Million Layers.
Yeah,
Well,
it's pretty bad. We make fun of me on here. It's fun.
I do a shitload of layers too. I try to force myself not to, but it always ends up going. I just need a little bit of this over here. I need another layer on this.
Yep.
And
Just
See
need that
what
back
works.
lighting. Just need that rim lighting to look a little bit more like this. I need this gradient right over here. Yeah. Well, guys, we usually say hi to the chat. So what's up? We got Collision Bomb in, yeah, and then we got Bud in, yeah. Well, usually Noah and them usually drop in, say what's up a little later on. My post today was a little awkward too. I put your Indiegogo link on it instead of the link to the YouTube, and then I got busy and I totally forgot to create the YouTube. I usually create the whole like episode the whole time before, and I was slacking a little bit, so it may take a little bit of time.
I really like the graphics you put on my image. And do you notice this part of your style where you do this on these layered schematics?
Yeah,
cool schematics.
Yeah, this is basically what I put up all the time, except it's usually my art behind it, and yours is really awesome. Like the fractal framing in the background.
Yeah. You know why it's cool too? Because I live in the world that I made, and I'm doing the artwork the way, and so like I didn't think about ever doing that. And so like there's a thing that happens with all artwork, and things get put on top of it, and you're like, well, I never thought of that.
Right. That's why this group is so cool. The more you get to know people and start to see what they're doing and the techniques that they use, like you start picking some of that stuff up. What's up, Jeremy Burtz? Another good artist right there. Jeremy Burtz, that guy is killer with his illustrations. He does great portrait work. Awesome.
Really?
At some point, man, maybe I'll need to just do a full-on CG book, like everybody do a page.
Oh God, we couldn't. No, too many egos.
You know who did that?
Figure it out.
The Zade brothers.
Oh yeah, Zade brothers. Yeah, they're pros though. What's up, Lord Crackhead? What's up?
We have 3 Jeremys in here.
What's up? Good stuff. Hello. Yes. Oh, by the way, like bow to like the show that everyone's been having over on Jeremy's stream, guys. If you can go over there, sub again. Good stuff. Go sub over to there. Jeremy Burtz, when are you gonna get a channel, dude? We got to get you drawn on streams, bro. But yeah, guys, we are here shilling a very rare thing that we do, Shadowpunk. It launched on Bancross, as I'm sure most of us in our groups have saw or had seen or had witnessed, whatever the correct verbiage is, and super fast. There it is. It's at 128%, and it's only a couple days in. Congratulations, sure.
Thank you. Yeah, it was quite a build up, me getting to that point where I could launch, getting everything set up, even just figuring out how Indiegogo works,
Sure.
That's kind of, and then the artwork and, I want to do one more piece to show. And then I was doing the figures to, the giveaway figures every week. And it was crazy, man. It was really busy. Right now, I'm kind of going.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now a lot of that is kind of going, but fulfillment. Just wait, enjoy it while you have it. Enjoy it, and when fulfillment happens,
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
So we got good stuff here. We usually do your mama jokes or blonde jokes or things like that. We keep it kind of fun. So your mama, so fat her blood type is red goo.
There we go.
Great. Good.
A little
Classic.
thick, but everything's in there.
Yeah.
Don't tell that to Tony Soprano.
Sure.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Good stuff for the your mama joke. That's awesome. Do you know any good your mama joke, SHADOWPUNK?
Oh gosh, it's a certain. You have to be a certain type of brain to do those kind of jokes, and I don't have that type of brain.
So you don't even remember one. You don't even remember one.
Yeah, I don't. I don't. I have to
Oh,
remember.
you
from
do.
like
You do. You just don't want to say it. It's all right.
okay, it's too racy. Is that what it is?
But all right. So let's get back to the book. Let's get back. So I want to show off this trailer. I've been telling everyone that I know this guy is a killer sculptor, and I sculpt in clay. So
Oh, cool.
This is my character for the video game. And
Is that the one that I saw on your page?
yes, but no, the one that's on the page was a 3D sculpt. I had remade of that. So I sent hundreds of photos to a guy I knew. And
Wow.
it took a long time. He's a great sculptor, but his prices just increased heavily. So I was like, I need two other. But Chris Fisk had sent me a miniature 3D print of that.
Oh,
and
cool.
That's that thing is going to be cool once we get our game campaign back up. Once we get more support and everything, we'll do it the right way. We got all kinds of stuff are coming on the game, guys. We were just kind of talking about that.
Can you put it on by the camera so I can see it?
Yeah. Let's see. I actually have a photo of it. Hold on. I have a couple photos of it, but this was Chris Fisk that printed it. So yeah. Let's see.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yep, I love that, man.
He put a wash on it. The details held so much. It's a nice resin print. It's awesome. So
I'm telling you. So did you, when you saw it and you got it, were you like, "That's my character. This is fucking cool."
Yeah. And I was like, I want to get it to other people. Like I want to get it to you guys now, but that's not where my comic comes into play. Like he's not even alive, but in my comic book, but in the game, that happens like 10, 15 years later. So it's like I gotta hold that back, but I've been looking for more sculptors, and
that's all right, man. He can still be a twitch in the pants by the time you release it. That's all right.
That's true. That's true.
Jeremy, did you ask me about sculpting?
Yes.
I think. Okay, yeah.
Yes. We'll talk more about that on the back end. But yeah, I've been telling people about you and be like, holy crap, look at this guy. And this trailer is just incredible. You are what Joe and I like to call triple threat, but you're kind of like triple threat in a 4-dimensional hypercube that's being projected from an 8-dimensional plane. And I've said that about E8 lattice. I'm equating
that's what my neighbor told me. He said the same thing.
Yeah,
exactly, verbatim.
Cool. Oh, gnarly, cool. So let me pause this because I want people to see this trailer. It's nuts. Even when it was launching on Bankroll, I was like, play the trailer. Let's go. Mo Biggs was shouting for it too. So boom. Yeah.
There you
awesome.
Go. Thank you.
Super killer.
That looks good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he animated that the way he sculpted all that, then he's doing his comic book, which I haven't scrolled down to yet, but the art is backing all this up. Like the style, the attitude, the intensity. It's excellent.
Thank you.
Just I love
You're
the
very
world.
gracious.
That's a lot of 3D work, man.
And that's just the 3D work. Like, this artwork is awesome, and the type of world that you're capturing. Like, I liked Tony Hawk Pro Skater when I got it when I was a kid. It had a lot of that
look
junk.
like it.
It had a lot of that junkyard kind of city grunge, like backyard, like grunge to it, in certain areas and certain levels and stuff. And I get a little bit of that with Roach Ball's comic too.
Yes.
Like, there's this 90s dinge that everyone's just starting to collapse in. I'm loving stuff like that. But I've also equated, I think this was on one of Joe's time trials. I think you jumped on, and where I was equating it to, or maybe you weren't even on there. We were talking about you though, but I was equating it to there was an old 90s game called The Heart of Darkness, and it's a really crazy animated platformer. I'll pull that up in a second, but it also has that 90s like Saturday morning cartoon kid with the hat backwards, socks that don't fit, junk weapons and everything. It's just yes. So
it's, I mean, building the world that she lives in, it is, you've got to fill it with stuff, right? It has to feel like it's believable. And there's a ton of work that goes involved into doing that. You know, like the bottom panel right there where there's like a silhouette. You can see her in the bottom right. You know, stuff like that. I like to do stuff like that. I know people generally like that too. But the other panels, you got to fill it with a ton of stuff because that's how it will really be. I think,
like,
and I think
gangs rule one way. You got the interlinked fences, you know, like, yeah, the little details that if you don't get right, they bug you.
You know, and whenever when people say that the style feels like a 90s, you know, you can't get away from what you grew up loving. Sure. And even if you work so hard to get away from it, which I didn't, but even if I wanted to, I still wouldn't be able to do it because it's in your psyche, right? It's like,
that's probably my fault that I say that, is I attribute it to those times, you know.
No,
but
nobody, other people have said the same thing though.
All right, well then
this almost and I'm this like, almost has a steel image almost to me similar to what I've seen like maybe in Twisted Metal, maybe even in Infamous, you know, early 2000s. So with some of the stills with the background and that kind of style, it definitely gives me a reminder of that. I see some Tony Hawk, I think, Pro Skater in that too. I'm not exactly sure where that's coming from, but it feels like
it's more color palette to me.
And it may be.
It could be. That's true. I'll tell you, man, it's a lot of fun to work on. And
I said, so this is where Richard Simmons has been.
Yeah, totally.
He's been working out. I mean, look.
When you said that, I'm like, you nailed it. That's exactly like not far from the truth. Because this girl is like the leader of the gang that she runs into when she's living in the ruins. And she is the boss bitch of all, or we want to call it that. And
I'm a pony.
She's definitely kind of like her arch nemesis. And it kind of goes downhill fast. So yeah, but you know, I wanted to, you know, it's like you start designing the characters and figuring out what they should feel like, what they should look like, you know, and it's a lot of fun, man. I never thought I would be doing it, to be honest. So it's really cool.
It's got to feel great to have that support like that too. Like I saw what happened to Joe and a bunch of friends that I've got here, and man, I can't wait till I'm done with my book.
No kidding.
Oh man. Oh, okay. So quick intermission. Your mom's so fat when she works with a sweat, it smells like boiled hot dog water.
Yum. Oh, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. That's definitely a wasn't that Limp Bizkit? Wasn't that their album? Yeah.
Chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Back to quality. What's up, Art Time? Art and Times, J. Ryan. What's up? Am I missing anyone else? Have I? Oh, General Piggy. What's up, General Piggy? Hello. Try to keep up. Say what's up to everybody when they jump in. You know, it's kind of like a slide. Anyway, all right. Back to the quality. All right. So yeah.
And then just on another note, people are like, why don't you have like your own YouTube channel? You could do your sculpting or whatever while you're. And I'm doing it, but that computer behind me, or actually even the one I'm on, I'm having a problem getting that to work.
Oh.
So, seriously, I can do 3D animation, but if you put directions in front of me, I have problems.
No, I got you. No, I totally.
So you can't color by number while you're doing some 3D animation?
Well, no, like on that computer back there, I can't get the microphone to work ever.
Right.
What the heck?
Those type of things.
We have technical difficulties too, so don't even think it's just you.
The fans demand it. I mean, who am I to say no?
Yeah.
Kernel is a technical difficulty.
That is true. My nickname around here is Colonel, so yeah, I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like doing a lot of physical looking layers and scenes, right? I don't know why. It's just I like silhouettes in the front sometimes. The
foreground element. Yep.
Yeah.
It balances things out. It keeps everything kind of weighted in the right way that you want it to. Track, also serves as kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog checkpoints through the story.
Sure. I mean, I think we all kind of use those techniques here and there.
Right.
And one of the things, I don't know maybe you've been doing this for so long. You have an entire world built, okay? But when I was ramping up to get used to doing this stuff, I was looking for techniques I could use like this, And every time you turn around, you bump into another one that you use. And like, I'll do that more often because that's really cool, And I'm sure everybody does that, but
that's what's cool is you cut your own way through it. It's like cutting your own path through a dark wood. Like you don't know where this is going to take you, but you do know you're going to go down it, and then you come out the other end with something like this. That's great.
I tell you what,
your depth is good too. I mean, looking at some of the perspective and what you're putting together, I mean that adds to it for sure.
Like just the slant of the chain link, like something so subtle, but it's the perspective of it. It feels ominous. If you would have done a bird's eye perspective on that, it would have killed a little bit of that.
Right.
Threatening. Just little subtleties like that.
You kind of feel like she's under the gun.
Right.
Sure.
You got the banner in the head and the
third degree light. Right. Yeah. I mean, but I imagine like a veteran, like somebody who's been doing it for 30 years would have their bag of tricks would be way bigger, right? But that's also the cool part, right? Because if you do, I might do things totally different than a veteran, and I might get things out of left field that you never even. So there's always that.
Yeah. But this looks great. Like choices and styles are good. I love this character here. I want to know more about him because
it looks like good stuff.
He posed for me. I said, dude, I'll change everything, a couple things, but that guy right there is that guy right there.
Yeah.
And he's the guy that's lower down. You'll find pictures of him.
He's got the hand with the glyphs.
Schematics.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So he is definitely her mentor. And in that panel, he's explaining to her what happened early on in the city's history. And he's really a fun character, man. The more I got into it, the more I was just like, this guy's going to be really neat. And then this guy with the goggles on, he is also somebody. And I spent forever working on, like, I did his reflections so many different ways because I never,
dude, right? Those came out so good. Like the shape choices, like the swoop in to kind of arc that under, like you weren't trying to glint it over the eyeball or anything, but you still needed it to be there. Like that was a great choice. Thank
you. I mean, I wanted to feel like an inferno, and then this guy's protected inside of it, right? But when I finish a book, I'm excited because I really want to produce as many cool images as I can, and get the audience into this girl's story. She's the reason why you watch, why you read the book, and she's also obviously the star of the animated movie that I made, right? So
that you made. There's a movie we can watch.
The trailer.
No. Go down to the bottom. There's a 9-minute movie, and you can watch that.
Okay, cool.
Well, it
almost has like a Firefly kind of.
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, hold on. When I hear Firefly, I think Rob Zombie. What are you talking about?
I'm thinking like the
DC Comics.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Now I know. My bad. Whoops. Yeah. Went a little dumb there.
So don't play the movie because it's it'll glitch. Sure. It'll glitch like crazy. But people can watch it and
Yeah. Tease them, man. Get more clicks on that site, man. Somebody go out and support him.
So this was a ton of fun to make.
That's cool.
I mean, I'm telling you, I was talking to somebody online today. I'm like, there was a day if I would have told you I was going to make that, I would have been like, what's his name from Different Strokes? What you talking about? Right?
Even the hair is blown as she's going back. That hair is blown.
That's cool.
It's awesome.
It's so much fun to do stuff that you never knew that you could do, right? And by the way, so these have been sent out. People are already getting them in the mail, and they sent me pictures of them. And just like your thing, you're like, this is fucking cool. This is cool that I get to get it out to people, and they get to have it in their homes.
Well, we sent out challenge coins, even if you backed us, just because of course it didn't fulfill for the game, but we felt like, dude, you guys helped us out and believed in us. We sent out coins. We were like, thank you. So,
it's a cool feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, because as an artist, that's half the deal. You don't want to live in a vacuum. You want to, even if it's just a handful of people who get your cool thing, that's what you do as an artist,
That's what's cool is you get to know them too. Like it's a lot cooler when you actually get to meet the people creating it, or you get to talk to the people that are buying it, and then learning from each other, like you were saying. So
that's a really good point, because throughout this whole thing of me launching the book and going online, which by the way is very, I never wanted to go online with people, right? And talking,
we didn't either.
Exactly.
But we're here.
But how cool is it though? You find out that everybody's not so different than you are, and they have their own visions of it. Like you guys have this whole world, right? And I'm like, so it's just great to meet people that are of like mind.
You've got a city in need of a hero.
I do. That's right. They need her, man. So yeah, and I was for a long time. The movie I made had a different name. It was like a working title, right? And I was like, what am I gonna call this thing? And she lives in the shadows and she's a kid, right? But so it took me a long time to come up with the name Shadowpunk. But when I got it, it was one of those boo.
Yeah, that's what it always has been named.
Really? Yeah, right. It's just like what's his name from The Shining? You've always been the caretaker,
Sure.
It's like it's just
the universe had to let you in on the info. It's always been told that. You just didn't know it yet. Do
you guys feel that way with your creation?
I did when I came up with the title Beckoned. It took me a bit, but when I landed on a single word that actually fit what was actually going on, I was like, all right, it rang. I sent it out to a few friends. I'm like, and does it fit? And they were, yep, that's it. Cool. It's gonna work. So
did you when you told people so you can get feedback in a way?
Yeah, because I. Looking at my art, and if you think about it like this, does this ring a bell? And they were like, "Oh yeah, that fits." I mean, you play with other ideas, and they just didn't stick, or they didn't hold, or they sounded too cheesy, So I don't know. I think Shadowpunk rocks, and it's clear that's what this was. Even the style of it is Shadowpunk. There's a lot of heavy contrast, a lot of use of black and white, A lot of use of value. The attitude behind the mark making. It's punk. This is it reflects the title. Yeah, everything.
Isn't it crazy? Like you almost go like, I did not plan this.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
it fell together.
It fell together, and I think, you know, just like when you're doing your artwork and you're kind of starting rough and then you're tightening things, pushing it this way, pushing it that way. It's part of the process. And, you know, I said it a couple times, but our job as artists is to spot the good stuff when you see it.
Yeah,
you know,
but
that's what's been.
You have to see good stuff to know what's good too, right? You have to see a lot of bad too.
You also, I committed myself consciously to saying I'm going to make mistakes.
Yes.
I'm going to produce. If I produce something wrong, at least I know that's not what I want. You know, and hopefully that doesn't take too long, that process. but you know, I've told this story before, but you know, when I was coloring the cover here, I came up with a red and blue color scheme, and I did it once, and it looked okay because it was all skin tones, and it looks fine. It looks fine. But then I said, you know what? It is. I wanted to find a way to add punk rock feel to it, and the velvet poster I thought would be what if it's like that? You know, I don't even know if that would be cool. And then I tried it, and it worked.
Nice.
So, yeah, and I'm sure,
like the old velvet glow in the dark or blacklight posters.
That's exactly what it is.
Nice. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Right. But I was going to put in the book like gangs of people that are like disco people. Because there was this whole thing like with rock and roll and disco and punk back in the day where they all hated each other. Right?
Yeah.
And they were like anti to each other, you know. So that actually might still happen to some minimal degree, right? It won't be cartoony. But one of the movies I really love, and I'm sure you guys have seen, is The Warriors.
Yeah. That's an old one. Like
all the gangs have different like styles.
What was that? 79, 81?
Probably, yeah, something like that.
I think.
I mean, it's really old.
Yeah.
So I love that stuff, and I love that if you can pull off that there's a fine line between really corny and kind of freaking cool.
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling you.
It's the Tommy Wiseau effect.
I'm sure it is, right?
Well, go ahead.
It's fun to do, and you're like, because I think everybody has their own dispositions, right? So my disposition is to be edgy and to be a little hardcore, right? And so I want to have that, but I want to also balance it out with things that are on the other scale. So once in a while, something goofy will happen or something lighthearted, and then it goes into hardcore, Judge Dredd and evil, right? You know, I like that. So I mean,
yeah, the contrast extremities.
Yeah.
So that has as much before. Where you were talking about things kind of falling into play, there's been quite a few, you know, happy little accidents that we've kind of called them, even from our project and from stuff. And, you know, kind of like you were saying, it's amazing how some of those things that you don't quite know up front become kind of an accident, but then you look at it, you know, oh man, that actually really works. Really? So it's amazing for some of that stuff along your project to all of a sudden surprise you because you weren't expecting it to turn out that way. And then all of a sudden it just turns out so well.
So how does the process with you guys work? Do you brainstorm together?
Yeah.
I mean, we do.
Dwight could attest to this. A lot of this has been in my head for a very long time. And I've worked in 2 other indie studios. One that had a pretty large budget but didn't know what they were doing. The other one was a really small team, just 3 of us. I was the artist doing all of everything, marketing, animating, the game, the concepts, everything there I was doing, and 2 other programmers. They were awesome to work with, awesome job. And after that kind of dropped funding, I started BECKONED. And
I gotcha.
Had everything documented as far as like game design, game logic, how this works. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, big Chrono Trigger fan. Been playing Dungeons and Dragons and Rollmaster since I was a kid. Like,
right.
So these systems and stuff, I get how they work and how number balance becomes key to it. But Dwight's been learning, but you have to control absolutely every aspect of it. Every inch of detail is accounted for. And it's like, how do you build a system for that? And it's like, you do it like this. And it's taken us some time, but it's awesome where it's gotten. And
so when you do get some chance, check out the trailer that he was showing earlier on that Steam link.
Oh, I can probably
and so
show it when we close.
That
do a joke.
That is actually, been my first stab at a video game. And so that was basically, like you said, starting out and wondering what the veterans are doing that have been doing this 30 years. And here I'm going into it just super fresh as a game programmer. And I think maybe I do, but not the game. So then here all of a sudden I'm trying to bring all of those other things that I've done and then bring it into an actual game where you're controlling it and making it do what you want it to do, and then trying to get the artwork from Jeremy to do what his expectations are. And then that's where those happy little accidents happen, where Jeremy's like, I want it to look like this or do this or function this way. And then by the time I get it somewhat working and it may not be where he wanted it to be, then he sees it and he's like, oh man, no, that's so much better. Like, I like that. Like, wow. Like, no, don't change it. Don't change it. And so that's where those happy little accidents come, just from kind of pulling stuff together. So a lot of it's been just getting this working. Hey, try this, check this out. What do you think? And it's okay. Well, if you could tweak this and move this over here, or change this, or, maybe do something a little bit different, then it's great. Or there's times where he'll look at stuff and go, oh my gosh, don't change a thing like that. Oh, I mean, just like really kind of clean it up, but enhance it. But right there, what you did, like that is phenomenal. So there's been those accidents.
There's a reason why like Lennon and McCartney work together, because at some level it does work, right? If two people can get along and they even have slightly different points of view, I think that's really a positive thing, because
Oh, I don't think he knows this yet. We're brothers, me and Dwight.
Oh,
so we've got.
I can be mad at him for a couple days, but in the end, we got to get along. I mean,
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay,
you're fine.
I usually don't claim him, so.
Yeah, so that's like his last name's Tevenot, my last name's Tevenot. It kind of just
That's like is that a French name?
Yes.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yes. Like French. No, it almost sounds like French Cajun or something.
Well, in France it's Tevenot, and then we grew up in northern Kentucky, southern Indiana, so Midwest-ish, and they still leave out the H, but we pronounce the T at the end. And then down in Louisiana, we've got quite a bit of actual kin down there, and it's Thebino. So then they pronounce the H and then leave the T off on the end. And then so it's been really wild. So there's definitely some theories in the family as far as, did our ancestors leave France, go to maybe Canada first, and then, some of them migrated down into the Indiana, Kentucky area, and others migrated down into Louisiana when they did kind of the French Canadian French settlization down there. I don't know, but it makes for good banter. For sure.
Yeah.
So you guys, that's cool then. You guys are brothers and you can work together, and it's
that's why it works.
That's what's been wild, man. So he was working on this for quite a few years, and I mean was really brainchilding this for 14 years or so, and had his grimoire with him and his book, and he flew out to Texas to see me, and we spent the weekend, and he was showing me some of the stuff, and I'd never really actually physically got to see what he had. and what he was doing and his artwork and his drawing. We had talked over the phone, and he was playing around with the storybook a little bit. And then he flew out, and we looked at it. I'm looking at it going, holy shit, you've got a lot of this really figured out and put together. And so I had been doing some other stuff, and I've done programming in other industries, and even took classes and some other things. So I had a version of Unreal Engine on my PC, and I was like, hey, I've got Unreal Engine, like let me go pull it up, and hey, by chance, do you have any of this artwork? He's like, oh yeah, I've got some sprites. So then we kind of just sat down, and I started getting the Taj character sprites put together and animated. And then all of a sudden we took this little bitty spot of his world, and then got it where you could run around in it. And gosh, I don't know, what was it, 6-7 hours? We kind of just sit down, dedicated, and all of a sudden then the collisions are there and the characters running around, and Jeremy just like jumps out of his chair and is just jumping up and down. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And he grabs a hold of me and he's just shaking me. He's like, you're my programmer, you're my programmer. And we kind of just started playing from there, man.
Yeah, it's been crazy, but we got about another half. So tell us about your perks. Well, obviously this is your featured perk, but you click these things and we can see what's in them. But why is it your featured? What do you think?
So the full blitz, you get the comic book, you get the T-shirt, and you get the figure painted or unpainted.
So 17 have got
that's
that.
Pretty good.
That's not bad.
That's a good kit.
It is. And so I gave him a discount to get it because I really wanted to get all those out there. I'm guilty of loving my logo. Okay. So I said, you know what? I like it, and I love it that people, holy shit, there's a T-shirt with my logo on it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That you get that feeling where you go just like your figure, right? You're like, oh my gosh, and it's that feeling I'm doing it. And people are like, nobody knows your character. I'm like, I know they don't, but I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
It's fun to do, right? I mean, why not make it fun for everybody? For me, at least, right? And see if everybody likes it. But so I made the full blitz as my premier featured package, and then a lot of people got it. I mean, 17 people bought it, and
that's awesome. So these are the kind of the packages that are fulfilling now. Like you said, some people have already been getting this.
Yes. Yeah. They're already getting the shirts and the figures. The shirts might take some time to get to them, but already the figures. I had to paint the last couple of days. I've been painting the figures and then shipping them out. And I'm using the metallic paint that you can buy, and it works. I mean, it worked. I figured those figures, when you paint them with something shiny, but if you do a wash and then you do a dry brush, that brings out the top spots. And I did it once. I'm like, fuck, that fucking works. That looks really cool.
You need to murder one out and do it in flat black. I did that with Joe's motorcycle from Star Circuit, and I just did a flat black and murdered it out. And I sent him a picture of it, and he goes, "Oh man, I've got to do that," because it almost, in a sense, did some of what you're talking about, but just by spraying it, because you still had some light glisten on it, but then you had those other really, really dark spots just because. But that flat black out of it was an interesting setup for sure.
The other one I tried was I bought some chrome spray paint, like actual close to it chrome.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It kind of was, but it was it didn't come out as cool as I wanted it to. And I have a problem. I don't do spray paint very well. I know that's like saying you don't breathe well, but I really, every time I do it, I get a flaky texture on everything I spray paint. And I'm doing it wrong, but
or check out those hammered spray paints. If you haven't seen those, it almost has that hammered wrought iron look. It's got the like the chromy silver, but with the black mixed in, and it makes it look like it's that old hammered style.
That is cool.
You know,
I like
that would look really good on this.
Yeah,
that would look really good, especially like you're saying with the brushing that you're doing to kind of, you know, flatten certain spots and leave others kind of shiny. But that hammered look would be pretty cool.
So 2 people bought unpainted figures, and just in the campaign, and then somebody won one when I gave it away, and I'm really excited to see whatever they come up with.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because, you know, decisions you like I would never do because I'm only have one kind of area that I'm working in.
And you got to paint a lot of them, so like you got to come up with some like
exactly. That's kind of what I did. I had to come up with a cool way because, you know, I've been painting my own figures for years, and I always notice, gosh, when things are really silver, they really all the details pop, right? And it's not white, but it's highlight gray, you know. And I'm like, that really works. I'm doing it, and so
it creates the ambient occlusion within the dark areas where light.
Absolutely.
There's still a part of me that's looking at it and looking at a gloss black in certain spots that would really do certain things.
That would be cool too, man.
I mean, I'm seeing it. That would be pretty cool.
So I'm actually getting a bigger 3D printer that's on its way. It's like 3 times the size of this one. So I'm going to actually I have other sculpts I'm doing, and I'm going to sell them. And I want to make one that's big that you can put on your freaking desktop.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Oh, dude, if you could ever afford to figure out how to chop it up into pieces and then go to a con and set it up like life size.
Well, I'm going to do that. There's no doubt about it. My brain's already working. I ask people, like, is there a rule in conventions? If I do a Batman, are they going to kick me out of the convention?
I don't know, because people do paintings.
They dress up as
Joker. They like the artists there. They'll do airbrushes of Joker, things like that. Like they're selling that stuff hand and foot, like under there. So I don't see where. I don't know.
It's a homage to, right? I mean, it'd be different if you said that it was your, you know, original, like everything. But I mean, if it's inspired
Darth
by
Vader in Florida, I wouldn't do that, you know. But
oh, right. Yeah, I mean, like for example, if I had Batman and you know, he's covered up, like his cloak is half covering his body. You know, there's no logo. You wouldn't see the logo, right? Or you wouldn't. You know, the logo is half the issue. You know, so I'm gonna do that.
Tell him
if you dress up as him,
Black Catman.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Maybe you know, Jerry makes a good point, because there's people drawing Batman and selling it for $100 at a convention, and they're letting them get away with it. You know, I mean, they're gonna pick me out and say, "Oh, you're the worst case," you know. But yeah. So anyway, you know, one of the things I discovered from being on Twitter was that people
do Bartman, do Bartman, and then just convert all the way around it and do Bart Simpson, but in a Batman costume, and then, you know, not even have the logo. You get around it.
Trust me. I know that's kind of a joke, but you know what though? That's kind of real too, because people would love that.
Oh yeah, they would. Oh yeah,
right. But I discovered that people like my sculpts, and I had no idea, absolutely no idea. Oh, and so, you know, I mean, if I made the kick-ass Batman you've ever seen sculpted, would people buy it?
Oh, I think so. Like if it was kick-ass, dude. Yeah.
With your sculpting abilities, because you've done. I've seen the Gem-Shock one. I've seen that one. I've seen. I think I saw a sticker of ARO. Are you going to do an ARO? Do you know what ARO 15 is?
No, I don't know what that is.
You'll know. They'll let you know. But like, dude, like one of the CG characters. Like we got like certain people that have like characters that don't belong to books yet. They're just kind of in the ether.
I got you.
It's like, oh, that'd be awesome to see.
Well, I did Cyberfrog and I did Salamandroid, right?
And the Salamandroid one.
So by the way, just so when we talk about Batman or whatever, when it comes to CG, I did those skulls, but I would never sell them. because I don't want to sell the creations or the CGs. But you know, beyond that, when you're talking like the Batman or something, you know, at a certain point, it's a zillion years old. You know, I don't know where it is, and you know, so that's kind of my belief, I suppose. People have actually like, dude, just sell me one. Can you just sell me one of those Salamandroids or something? I'm like, I totally want to sell it to you, but I can't do it. Right? I can't do it because it's not my character. Can you ask the character? And oh, thank you, sir.
No, it's Collision Bomb. Yeah. Her and I have actually I backed this twice, and I just backed it twice. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Because I wanted to.
Oh, I remember going through the list and I was like, what? Because
I must not have consolidated, or I think I bought 2 different tiers. So
you probably did.
I just know I wanted it. So
that's really cool. Thank you, man.
And then when it launched, I was like, refresh. I know I'm number 4, or no, I think I'm a little bit later in that.
Well, somebody gave me like a couple bucks out of nothing.
Oh yeah,
they gave me money. They were like a tip. They can give people tips or support or something. I'm like, first I'm going through them. I'm like, what is that? You know?
Awesome.
Oh wait, that's what that is. And I'm like, dude, that is so cool.
That means you send them something anyway, man. You know, a sticker. You better send them something.
I can't because I don't have their address.
Right.
You know, I don't even know. It's like an anonymous type of thing, and
well, yeah, that's on them then.
I can find them though, and maybe say, "Hey, can I send you something cool?"
Well, you know, I mean, if I would have known I wasn't going to get anything, I wouldn't have tipped you a couple bucks.
Okay, there you go. So anyway, the campaign's going, and a lot of the weight has been lifted off of me just going through the launch process. I know you guys know, but I don't know, right?
You got a bunch of days left to see if we can't get this up into the, into stratosphere.
That's true. When I launched, I had 266 signups. And the day I launched, I had 50. And I was like, those people are somewhere out there, right? Maybe, they're paying for gas right now. They're going, I mean, that's also, that I'm sure that's a factor because, people have to survive,
Right.
And that's just one factor too, so, but it was so cool. And I cosplay, I know you saw, I cosplayed my character on Bancroft's show. I had the glasses and I had the helmet, spiked helmet and everything.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, oh, yeah, that's right. You were wearing that during the show. You had the gloves and the helmet, dude. Yeah. What you do? There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, the goggles too.
It's hard to put on with my glasses, right?
Awesome.
And also, when I launched, I gave away the freebies, like the characters, right?
Yeah.
That was really fun to do too, because you kind of like to give back to CG, in a way that's fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody does it a totally different way, and everyone's got unique skills, I think. Right. I mean, by the way, just so I don't forget, on a totally different note, the stuff that people do with Unity is crazy, and I'm a 3ds Max person. When I see it, I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. Right? it looks like your world all in 3D, and I'm like, it's all rendered. And I'm like, you fuckers. And like, for us to render that stuff in 3ds Max is frame by frame.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, from what I get is you bulk out from game development, talking to a lot of you bulk out in 3D Studio Max. I remember dealing with 3D Studio Max when we were making Quake levels back in like 98 or whatever. Like everyone was like making like Quake stuff in 3D Studio Max. But like you would like bulk out characters and that, and now you just take it to ZBrush or Mudbox or something like that, and then go nuts, or even Blender. Some of the stuff people are doing in Blender is pretty insane too.
Yes.
But wow.
So I use the motion builder to do like character animations, and motion builder is a lot like Maya. where you have in the rig, you can pull the hand and then the body will bend down.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, I needed that because I was never trained as an animator.
Is that kinematics?
Yes, it is. There's inverse kinematics. And
inverse kinematics, right?
Yeah, there's another one, but it's like that plus.
Mm-hmm.
So logistically, figuring out how to do the movie I made was a mind bender on every level, because you're like, so the characters are in a horse with a wagon, and there's a cow pulling the wagon, and all three characters are in it, and she's walking up and down in the wagon, right? But I'm not animating it in Max. I'm animating a lot of it in Motion Builder and pulling that information back into Max, right? And you're just like,
nightmare.
And that's how that stuff is, But people would say the same thing about all the layers in Photoshop, right? They would go,
nightmare.
Your grandma would go, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, somebody's got to do it though.
Somebody's got to do it, and you can't let go. It's like, if that's the tool you have, then go ballistic with it. You can't not go ballistic. Do everything you can.
Right, for your own project. Right. I mean, I understand like clocking in, clocking out at a day job, even a creative one. Like there's just a whole different mind in that. When you go home differently. Like when you have your own thing that you're trying to push out, dude, it's whole different ball game. Yeah, around the clock. Yeah.
I mean, when I worked so for about 4 years, I worked 15 hours a day on the animated movie. Right.
Some guys do a lot more than just that. Like they're doing all that in the spare time. Like Bancroft usually does a lot of his shows during his lunch hour.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he used to. I don't know if he's unemployed now since the success of the Lucent.
That's dedication.
Yeah, but I think you heard on the show, I told him I would do his character.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I've got his book right there.
Oh, right.
There. Star Circuit's right there. Tiger Blue, yeah. They just announced Tiger Blue 2. But yeah, and then Infinitale Chronicles right here. Chris Fist, Bow. Yes. So I can't wait to get I got to design one of these boxes. This thing was awesome. And his book was incredible. You can find these books on cgnow.net. But yeah, here you go, Bancroft. But yeah, this is that Heart of Darkness game. Like this is what your animation really reminds me of. So I'll just kind of click through it a bit. But the opening video or opening story is like this kid's in class. This is like 1998, something like that.
Right.
In the year it was done.
You can tell by the shaders on the materials and stuff.
Oh, I'm really going for like kind of like the style, like they're not the same proportions, but there's very similar like styles happening, like what they were trying to do with their limitations back then, and then what you're able to do now. It's like and then the style stuff, like it's just so awesome to see. Like this took a big team to do.
There's no doubt about it. You have no idea. I'm sure it took a ton.
Yeah, and that's just the FMVs, but like I wonder if they're ever going to re-release this, but it was a great platformer. It's got, I think I think it's 2D animated, but this could be 3D and then rotoscoped or whatever, but I thought it was awesome. You lose your gun, you start using like fireballs or magic fireballs, but it's a stinking hard platformer.
Wow.
And the cool thing about it is the deaths. Like if you die, you could die all kinds of different ways, and these creatures eat you, or it's just
really
cool. Yeah, it's a real nightmare but it's cool. Like you just saw them interact with the shadow of the thing, right? It's just really cool, inventive game. But yeah, when I saw it, I was like, when I saw SHADOWPUNK, I was going, dude, like
right. Yeah, like I said, we're a product of our times. We can't really get away from it. We can just make it the best we can, right?
And the Beholder. What's the Beholder about?
Well, I can't tell you what the holes is about,
All right,
but
cool,
I had to put him in there because he was kick-ass fun to make.
Yeah.
And you know, he also has that giant eye, right? And that's fun to animate and get that on screen. You know, the hardest part was probably the last scene when she flies up over the city, over the robot, and the robot's head turns into the city. The scale of the whole thing was massive, and I ended up doing few effects to get some of the smoke.
Oh, and yeah, that parallax is so awesome.
It was
that.
Right. And it took forever. It took just to figure it out and just and I'm making it up as I go, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's how a lot of the stuff we do is you just make shit up. But you know, I'm like, this. You know, I can't tell you how long it took me. The whole thing took me about 6 or 7 months. But
if you ever want to have a character that has a samurai sword, or you want to print a samurai sword, your logo would be a great Tsuba.
Oh
yeah. So
you know what's funny about the logos? I was talking to another guy, and he told me something about my logo that I didn't know.
Ninja stars that are kind of running off the same ideas. So these star shapes. I don't know if those are shurikens or just designs.
You know, those come out of her wrist shooters.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, I see now. Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to say something else. And I was like, looks like they're coming out of, you know.
Okay,
never mind.
Easy now, right?
Yeah. No, they're web shooters, dude.
All right. Out of the gloves. Okay. All right.
So in the animated movie, she's picking up garbage along the way as they travel, things she thinks are cool, junk. Mm-hmm. And one of the things she picks up is like an old cog from a Detroit factory, right? And so that's the beginning.
They have some of the spiral cogs. That's cool.
Right. So that was her way of incorporating it, you know. And then
sure.
At the end of the movie, they run into this monster that's going to attack the whole caravan, and he has a punk rock thing going on. So that's going to influence her as she becomes Shadowpunk, right?
I'm wondering where that 70s Chevy van is with those diddly bobs and hanging in the window.
And well, if you've been to Detroit, I can probably tell you where it is. There's a famous landmark in Detroit.
There's got to be one.
Well, yes. And there's a famous. I went down there and took a bunch of photos of the building itself.
Oh yeah.
I want to be able to go inside and took pictures, but I don't think they'll ever let me in. But
you can be like, I'm working for college. I'm writing a paper. Oh, okay.
Right. But it's fun though because you sort of do research on the city a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. You learn about it, and I want to get a drone to go up and take pictures from up above, right? But I'm afraid that I'll lose it, like in the winds downtown, right?
Just look at some Google Street views, man.
Yeah, I could do that definitely. But there's this whole thing I know you guys know as the artist, you want to do everything yourself. You want to come up with your own, like, even if it's like out of the way, it's going to take time to do it, and it's just fun to do, in the end, you created something out of it. Like a lot of the textures and all that stuff I shot on my cell phone.
Oh wow, nice.
Which is kind of fun, you get to, some of them I bought, but some of them I bought, metal and wood and concrete, right? So yeah, it's just your family looks at you like you're kind of like you're messed up in the head, right?
That's okay.
I look at Jeremy a lot that way.
Go to the territory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on a spectrum. It's okay.
That's how it is,
We're making it work. But yeah, dude, everyone, go check this out. Like we went through it. This guy is a cool guy. I mean, obviously, like put his heart into this. This looks excellent. I've backed it. Collision Bomb's backed it. Dwight's probably gonna back it. He should. And yeah, dude, like your prints look awesome. In the green room after we get off, I'm gonna be like, hey, I gotta talk to you real quick. So don't run off. Right. But guys, if you are wondering who the heck I am, or Dwight told us who we are and everything. We were kind of talking about it, but we're Zade Studios. It's you can go to zadestudios.com, check that out. The first tab is just kind of get to know us. What are we doing? What's some news, stuff like that. The second tab is focused on our video game that is called simply Beckoned. It happens
Awesome.
10, 15 years from the comic book that's about to come out. But look at the bar on that right side. That's a short bar. It's a little bar. There's a lot of information on this page. There's so much to dig into. There's even stuff I don't want you guys to read just yet, but I'm leaving it there for you nerds to dig into if you want to. But there's all kinds of stuff here, guys. And on that third tab over here, this is basically a clone of the sign-up page on Indiegogo. It's just done up pretty on my end. But yeah, you just click that link, guys. Go sign up for that over there. We need more signups on this. I'm going to be getting around a bit more. I just haven't been doing any shows because I've been doing the work. But guys, also go over there on Steam and try out our prototype demo of Beckoned. It's there, free to play. Check it out. Let us know what you think in the discussions over here. And yeah, we're going to have an update hopefully in the fall if I can get my book done.
That's what we're trying.
But Dwight's got his mechanics set, guys. They're looking great. I just wish I had art to them, but they function without the art. It's doing great. It's doing great. But guys, that's what we got going. I think I'm gonna leave out with our trailer. That's what Joe does during these things. But guys, go check out SHADOWPUNK. Go sign up. Go sign up for Beckoned, but go back this book. It's there for you now. This guy's got a few more days left. He's got 4 more days left. Go get it. That's a lie. He's got more, but he's got 4 more days left. Go get it now while you can. Again, it's a lie, but do it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, SHADOWPUNK, for being on here. Like I said, I'll talk to you in a second in the great room.
Awesome
Dwight,
work,
thank you, sir. Oh, yeah. This was exciting, man.
Collision Bomb, you're crazy. You just backed it again. Collision Bomb said I backed it launched, now I just backed it again. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, she's 22 and 87. Yeah, all right. So I think I am number
rock
4.
and roll.
Yeah. All right. So guys, that was us. That's our show for tonight. Thank you again, SHADOWPUNK. I can't wait to get these things because this is looking great. Looks like a great book. And you have more to go from here, right?
You mean more work?
More books, more SHADOWPUNK.
Yeah. I'd like to continue the story. I mean, it ends on a cliffhanger. Boom, boom, boom.
Cool. Good.
There's a lot of them to do that.
I like cliffhangers. I don't mind cliffhangers. I'm stalling right now because I can't find. I think I took off the trailer. Whoops.
This is what I have to deal with. Like
yeah.
While you're looking for that, when I went on your website, I was like, oh wow, this video game. This company made a video game for this thing. Huh. I didn't realize that you guys made your own, right? You told me that, but before I came on the show, I thought this is like a company, like they all made this thing, right?
See, that's
what Dwight was telling you.
I agree that I didn't even like entertain the idea that you would have made it yourself. Yeah, right. It was that big and that good. I'm like,
thank you.
So,
I appreciate that.
Up,
I think that's kind of part of it, man. It's definitely deceiving.
Appreciate that. That means we're doing something right. But
yeah, for sure.
A little bit
very impressive. I mean, come on.
But so guys, go check it out.
You must engage the darkness. If you are going to regain the memories lost to you. You must stay strong.
A lone child's presence does not bode well for the circumstances.
No one can pass. And inquisitive. It will be difficult.
Well, that's just perfect.
But try to remember. You are never alone.